and welcome to Cultivating Inner Beauty, where we're all about loving our healthy selves, from hair, skin, and nutrition, and that, my friend, starts from within. So if you've been following me for a while, then you may have noticed I've been taking a little break from doing some videos, but that's because I am expecting. So in today's story, I plan to share some of that faith journey with you, and I pray that this will encourage you and just to really encourage your walk with the Lord and bless you wherever you are in your faith walk. So I took some notes right here, so I am making sure I don't leave anything out. But with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Back in 2019, in the beginning of 2019, my husband and I found out that we were pregnant. It was an exciting time, but it was a lot of emotions going on because it's a new year and we're trying to settle in the fact that we're these new parents. Well, like a month or two have gone by, and then we find out that we're having a miscarriage. I was about 7 weeks pregnant, and yeah, it was very traumatic, not only mentally, but physically as well. It was a lot on my body. And so first, I just want to just take the time to really congratulate all the moms out there that if you've had a miscarriage and then you tried again, like right after, wow, you are amazing, because during that time, I couldn't have imagined just even thinking about having a child after going through that. And so for me during that time, it was a lot mentally and physically. And so I just didn't want to think about children at the time, even though I love children, but I didn't want to go through that again. And so one of the reasons why the doctors said that I had a miscarriage was because of these fibroids. Now, if you looked at my previous videos, I've talked about the causes and everything, but as far as this goes, they were saying that the fibroids, because of the location, that's why the baby just didn't have enough supply of nutrients and blood supply as well to continue growing. Now, you may see like a lot of videos, encouraging videos of other women that have had fibroids and they were able to have a successful pregnancy. By all means, keep looking at those and stay encouraged, especially if you have fibroids or a similar health issue. But yeah, during that time, it was because of the fibroids and during this time, God is molding me and shaping me for cultivating inner beauty, which I had no idea what this brand was going to be about, but I knew God was creating something bigger, like a bigger platform for me. And so after going through all of that, another traumatic experience happened, and I'm continuing to strengthen my relationship with the Lord. But in 2022, I lost my mom. And if you're real close to your mom, then you know how big that is. And so after that happened, that was a bigger toll on me. Like first it was the miscarriage some years ago, and then my mom. And so it was a lot on me, again, mentally and physically. And yeah. So in that, what I've learned and I'm still learning, that was a big shift for me, like a major shift for me. And so it definitely drew me closer to God, like even more, and to trust in his ways in everything. And it also taught me not to sit on my ideas or just anything that he wants for me. I'm just going to go straight forward. And so it gave me like a different type of courage that I didn't have before. And so after that, I decided to go ahead with getting the fibroid surgery, myomectomy. I wasn't for it before, but I believe God was leading me in that direction. And so I went ahead and did it in 2023. They ended up removing 42 fibroids. Yes, 42 fibroids. It was a lot that was in the way of the baby in 2019, a whole lot. So they took those out. And one of the things, if you've had a myomectomy before or a similar surgery, if you're planning to have a baby, then the doctors recommend that you try, I forgot a month or two after the surgery, they want you to try and see if you can have the baby, because they say that some women have some issues with having a baby naturally. So after that surgery, moving on to 2024, I am having trouble getting pregnant. And at first it was kind of scary, because I was like, well, did they take out anything else that I should know about? Like, what is going on? Like, my mind is going kind of back and forth, which is not good if you're trying to have faith in God. But that's what was happening with me mentally. I did not know what was going on. And so for several months, I wasn't able to get pregnant. And I started looking at some natural solutions. One of the bigger things I was doing was, because I love smoothies, I was putting some maca root in my smoothies and drinking that up. I was also paying attention to my ovulation calendar. Just paying attention to the certain days that I'm most fertile, and nothing was working. But you know what I did after that? You probably took a good guess. That is, I went to God, which honestly, I should have went to him in the first place, which I thought I did, but looking back at my whole story, I did not go to him. So I went to him and I decided to do a fast. I turned down my plate, and I was fasting. Actually, I was fasting for a couple of things, but pregnancy was one of them. I was fasting for like 3 different things, and fasting in pregnancy was one of them. And so I fasted. I even started to really study and meditate on his word, like scriptures that spoke on pregnancy and just holding on to his promises. I looked at those every day and just held on to his promises. I always kept reminding myself of the promises that he told me in his word. And so I kept having those kind of thoughts in my mind. And so once I kept those thoughts in my head, then I had no choice but to believe it, because that's the only thing that I recycled every day in my mind. Like, I knew what God had planned for me, and I believed and trusted in that scriptures. So I did that for some time, and then I just left it alone. I just gave it to God, because I said, I'm not going to worry. Whatever happens, happens, and I'm just trusting him at this point. Well, one day I'm spending some alone time with him, and one thing about me is that whenever I spend time with God, I have to have like my special notebook and a pen, so I can write down any instructions that he had for me, or anything specifically he wants me to pray for or believe him for. Whatever it is, it's important for me to write it down, because sometimes I'm not going to remember everything. And I also like to just keep reading over what he's saying, because it's encouraging as well. And so anyway, this one particular day, I'm spending time with him. I don't ask him for anything. I'm just worshiping him and thanking him for how awesome and amazing he is. And so that's the only thing that's on my mind. But y'all, he had a response that day. It was very, very good. And guess what he said? He tells me I'm going to be pregnant. I didn't even ask him that day. I seriously left it alone after I fasted. But he tells me on this day, I'm going to be pregnant. Like, he's very specific when you listen to him. So, okay. So he tells me these 4 different things, and I'm going to share with you. He tells me when I'm going to be pregnant, right? And then he lets me know to prepare, because mind you, okay, I'm just going to paraphrase. I won't say exactly, but he told me I would be pregnant by the end of that quarter. Now, when I looked at the calendar, I had paused after he finished giving me the word, I went to my calendar to see what he was talking about, and I realized I was days away from what he promised. Okay, so I said, he told me when I would be pregnant. He told me to prepare. And then the third thing he tells me, he tells me some things about the child I'm going to have. Like, because God already knows about us. He knows us from our womb, from our mother's womb. Like, we're fearfully and wonderfully made. Of course he knows about us. And so he's telling me about this baby I'm going to have, and the great things that they're going to do when they come on the earth. And then the last thing he tells me is that, well, actually this was the first thing he told me after he tells me when I was going to be pregnant, but that was, know that it is from him. Guys, he says, know that when you become pregnant, it is from me, God. I did this for the both of you. So you know what that lets me know? That lets me know that even though, according to science and health facts and everything, maca root, it works, but that's not what helped me to get pregnant. Paying attention to your ovulation calendar, it works, but that's not what did it. What did it was God. God gave me favor, and he touched our situation, and he helped us to get pregnant. And it was naturally. My friends, when that day came, when he said that I would be pregnant, I wanted to test it a little bit, because I was like, sometimes, and I'm getting better, but sometimes when he talks to me, I'd be like, was that him? Or was that me? Am I making up something? You know, so I was kind of feeling that a little bit. But I said, nah. I can't make this stuff up. Like, I have an imagination, but my imagination isn't as big as that to make up a whole conversation as what he said specifically. And so anyway, I ended up taking a pregnancy test. I actually took a couple, because when I wasn't able to get pregnant, I would take a test every time. And yeah, it wasn't happening. And so this time around, when he told me what day I would be pregnant, I took the test. I took 3 tests. And every time I took the test, the second line became a little bit darker. First it was slightly pink, and then I was like, nah, I need to do it again. So then I took another pregnancy test, and then the line was a little bit darker, and I was like, I don't know. So then I took the third one, and that line was a little bit darker. And yeah, I definitely am. And so we went to the doctors, and they confirmed it as well. And all I could say is God is amazing. Through this whole time from 2019 to 2024, well, just throughout my whole life, but specifically with this story, he has been good. I definitely see the hand of God in all throughout my life. And I do believe that there were certain moments where I couldn't get pregnant yet, because he had to help to restore me and renew my mind and everything, and really get to a point where I could begin to fully trust him. And yeah, I'm just excited. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos on pregnancy and everything, because yeah, I'm just not sure. Whatever topic God wants me to talk about, then that's what it's going to be. But I know that this story specifically is going to bless a lot of you, and I'm seriously excited for us. I think, you know, it's only been a few more months left in 2024, but whatever you're believing God for, he can do it, and he proved to me that he can do it. So just trust God and lean on him and not on your own understanding. But yes, guys, I love you, and God loves you too, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, beautiful.